I request all the students to be seated. Vidya dadati vinayam, vinayadyati patratam, patravad dhanam apnoti, dhanat dharmam tata sukham. Knowledge gives humility, and from humility comes worthiness, and from worthiness comes wealth, and from wealth, righteousness, and then happiness. What a beautiful reflection of CA journey grounded in knowledge by ethics and culminating in the contribution to a society. A very good morning to one and all. I am Atmika Shri, Managing Committee Member of SICASA, with immense pleasure welcomes you all on this great occasion of Chartered Accountants Day 2025. A day that isn't just marked on the calendar, but etched into the foundation of our economy and ethics. Today, we salute the guardians of transparency, torchbearers of accountability, and quiet minds behind India's financial integrity. Our Chartered Accountants. Let me share also a quote that captures spirit of their work. A good chartered accountant is not the one who counts the numbers, but who makes the numbers count. From the formation of ICAI in 1949 to this very professional movement, but has grown in not just numbers, but in impact. So today, let us celebrate not just what CAs do, but what they stand for: truth, discipline, and excellence. Let us honor the past, embrace the present, and inspire the future together. Now I request our chief guests to come on to the dais. Let us all stand still for the motto song of ICAI.
य एष सुप्तेषु जाग्रति य एष सुप्तेषु जाग्रति कामं 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 कामपुरुषो पुरुषो निर्मिमाणः निर्मिमाणः तदेव शुक्रं तद्ब्रह्मा तद्ब्रह्मा तदेवामृतमुच्यते तस्मिन् लोकः शतः सर्वे तदूनात्यति कश्चन एतद्वैता 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 एतद्वैता.
I request everyone to be seated. On this special occasion of Chartered Accountants Day, as we celebrate excellence, integrity, and dedication in the field of finance and beyond, it gives immense pleasure to extend a heartfelt welcome to our truly distinguished guest. Dr. B. Anbuthambi sir is a seasoned leader with 25 years of experience in education, skilling, edtech, and technology industries, currently serving as a head of strategy and partnerships at L&T EduTech within Larsa and Turbo Group. Dr. Anbuthambi oversees critical areas such as strategy formulation, partnerships, marketing, and product innovation. Successfully led ICT Academy as past president, transforming it into one of the India's largest PPP social enterprises focused on bridging the industry academy skill gap. Recognized for expertise in fostering collaboration between industry, academia, and government to develop the next generation talent pool. Recipient of prestigious Power to Empower Award in the National Skill Enterprise Challenge by NSDC and CII. Possessing a comprehensive educational background, including a bachelor's degree in computer application, a master's in business administration, and a post-graduation business management from XLRI Jamshedpur, where he ranked third in his batch, completed a PhD in management with a focus on employability skills, showcasing a dedication to advancing knowledge and field. Actively involved as a member of governing councils, academic councils, and prestigious higher education institutes across India. Published author in both national and international publications, including contributions to notable books such as India in 2047 and Past Pandemic Graduate. A sought-after public speaker, Dr. Anbuthambi sir has developed thought-provoking talks on education, skill development, technology and future of work over 500 platforms. Sir, your presence adds today's immense value to our celebration. We are truly privileged to have you among us for this motivational session. We eagerly look forward to your words that will surely enlighten and energize us all. Once again, a warm and respectful welcome to you, sir. Now I request Dean Ma'am to felicitate Dr. C. Anbuthambi, sir. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. Now I request sir to give his insights.
Good morning, one and all. So now I'll be visible, I think, right? If I'm standing there, I'm not visible, no? I'm too short. Now I should be visible. So there are some chairs here. Why don't you all come here, girls? Come here. There are at least 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I did a quick auditing and there are 13 chairs here. Come first. So first of all, let me wish all of you a happy CA day. And I think this is a great profession. And on this important day, this young lady gave me an honor of becoming a CA. She told CA Anbuthambi because she's used to do host events, and mostly it is all CAs. But don't worry, I am with you. The reason is, you are all now not CAs, right? You are yet to become a CA. So I am with you. I am not with your dean and other CA fellow members who come here every day. So first of all, let me sincerely thank the dean and the council members of this SIRC for inviting me to this wonderful occasion. And definitely, I am not the fit guy for this program because I am not a qualified CA. But I thought that there are some insights others can also give. In spite of not being CA, they can also bring some inputs to all of you as an outsider. If I was a CA, I would talk about how do you pass exams, how do you get rank, what do you do in life after that, etc., etc. But you will have to talk within regulations. But I am not a CA, so I can talk anything. Nobody can ask me anything, right, ma'am? If I was a CA, every words they will have to count. What I'm talking, is this right? Is it ethically right? Is it right as per the policy of ICAI? A lot of things they will have to see. But I need not. But definitely, next 20 to 30 minutes. Now it's 20. My host, where is my host? She's missing. Okay. Just remind me by 8:45. Even if I miss, just remind me by 8:45. You ring the bell so that I will stop talking by 8:45. Okay. So, I am always amazed by this community of CAs. I knew about this profession, I think 15 years back. I have 25 years of experience, but I worked a little closely. I started working closely with this fraternity of CAs, I think 15, 20 years back. My first moment that I witnessed the bigness of this community is, in my initial stages of my career, I started working for an education company, and I was told to go and meet one teacher. And they said, you go and meet him in some Santom Parson Hall or something. It was a big convention center by the Santom Church. I mean, it was I think double of this size. You have to go and meet that professor there. Just go and see that teacher there. And I was likely to talk about some partnership with that teacher at that point in time, because I was part of an education company. I'm talking about 20 years back when internet wasn't there. Today all of you are doing online classes, etc. That time it wasn't there. That time there was a technology called VSAT, satellite based education. That was like our televisions. There are some institutions which had that, and we wanted to meet that one particular gentleman who was teaching there. I thought I will have to go and meet in some college or in some office or some institute like this. They said, no, you will have to meet him in one hall, which is like a sabha. So I went there, and my boss, I was a small boy, right? I was a young guy, I was a junior most in that office, like an office boy. So they said, you have to go and meet by 6 o'clock in the morning. I said, what? My office timing starts by 10 o'clock. Somebody is asking me to go and meet one teacher, that too by 6 o'clock. Who will come? The teacher himself will not wake up. But still I managed and I went there that morning. You will not believe, I saw at least some 600 students already there fully packed in that room like this. And there are at least 200 students standing outside looking through the window without having a seat. There are at least 200 such students. 800 students were there in that hall. That was not a AC hall like this. It was just a typical traditional hall. All windows are open. And there were noise from outside also. But still, there was a pin drop silence from that 800 people. Even those who are standing outside wanted to listen to that teacher. They were all standing there and watching. I am talking about 20 years back, not today. And they were all listening to one finance class. For me, that was today it's new for us. It's there everywhere. You can find it everywhere. But that point in time, I thought, no, one full college. I've seen only engineering colleges. I've seen arts and science colleges. For me to see such a crowd, and they were all glued to one particular teacher there. There were 2-3 teachers. There were 2-3 sessions. I saw all the 3 sessions. I still know those gentlemen, and I work closely with those gentlemen. But the way in which the students are glued to that particular teachers, that made me respect this community. For 2 things. Number 1, that teacher, that so-called teacher, teaches in such a way that even a layman will understand corporate finance, whatever that teacher was teaching. I had to wait for the teacher to complete so that I will meet them. So I was waiting for 1 hour, and I could also get some insights. That time I was only a BSc computer science guy. Second, these 800 students, their class started by 5 o'clock. Imagine the amount of passion they would have carried to be there by 5 o'clock. And to listen to that, and everyone standing outside through the window, they are taking notes. That was my first thing which I got amazed about this community of CAs. The way in which they pursue their learning, the way in which they are very serious about their education. Here in colleges, in a typical college, to even go by 10 o'clock, we always struggle to go by 10 o'clock. But this fraternity is not like that. The second instance where again I got amazed about this community is when I was working in my earlier company, I used to face audits from different people. I mean, from our, we had one auditor called Bhupati and Co., who is one of the past president of this institution. And this office will audit us. I know CA R. Bhupati is the most respected auditor. I know there are a lot of partners he has. But we were scared about this one boy who was an intern. Which means he was an article assistant. He was not a CA. My entire office, when I say entire office, the finance department, there were at least 8-10 people. And once one guy came and I was a little senior then. It was 10 years back. I was almost at DGM level. Then he came and told, sir, why don't you tell our auditor not to send this article assistant to our office? I said, why? He said, no, he's questioning a lot. Who? An article assistant, not the auditor. The auditor will come and sit there and he will give some jobs to that audit assistants who are so-called article assistants. And he will go away in the morning. He will sit for 1 hour. Every year they come for some 10 days or so. I think every half year. They come for 10 days. But he will depute the duty to the article assistants and he will go. And there was one guy, that fellow is from Andhra. I know his name also. I don't know. He may not be here. Definitely he is now with one of the big fours. The way in which he does audit, even an experienced auditor will never think in that format. I'm not demeaning them. I'm only saying this article assistant, without even completing CA, according to me, he was 10 CAs. He had that kind of power. Whoever you are, I will question what it is. I want facts. I want figure. Now, even my boss used to say, no, I don't want to deal with this guy. I will deal with his boss. So that was my second thing. That is the amount of importance even an article assistant gets in the company. It is not just the auditor. I cannot say I want to deal only with auditor. I cannot say, because I have to live with this articles guy. End of the day, he writes the report. The third thing I was amazed when I met one lady. She is, her name is Vidya Subramaniam. She said, when she introduced to me, she said, sir, I'm a CA. I struggled hard to get my CA. And I'm second rank holder in my finals. But I am now teaching music in Adayar. You can check out that lady. You struggle for 4 years like this. Start early morning 5 o'clock. Study till night 10 o'clock. And then finally after passing, that too with the rank holder, number 2, you decide, I have done it, now let me move to music. There are such people. So which means, even after completing my CA, after getting the rank at the top, I mean, I'm sure, I know to some extent, at least as a layman, to pass CA itself is a tough game. That too, getting second rank is not that easy game. So even after winning that, now she is saying, let me pursue my passion now, which is music. Then I was astonished. Then I had to deal with her for a lot of other activities. Then I come to know, she said, okay, I've practiced for some time, now let me move on. So there are people, those who have moved on. The next encounter when I met one of the founder of Rameshwaram Cafe in Bangalore. Has anyone visited Rameshwaram Cafe in Bangalore? Raise your hand. How many of you have visited? Okay, put your hands down. The founder is CA. Are you aware? No. Be aware of that now. Rameshwaram Cafe is 18,500 crore valuation company today. 18,500 crore valuation company. Their revenue may be at some 80-100 crore this year. They were at 60 crore last year. You have to go and see that original Rameshwaram Cafe. It is not like your Adayar Ananda Bhavans, or it is not like your Sarana Bhavan's chain. Those are all small joints. They were all started as small joints. Joints means what? Whatever you see just outside in this Muttusandu, no? It will be like that. And today their valuation is so much. So which means, I realized after CA, it is not necessary you practice only in your finance, audit, working with big fours, working with some big auditor in this city. No. People have taken multiple paths. Somebody runs a hotel, that too successful hotel, but they have created some differentiator. They are not running if a CA is running a hotel or the chain, they will not run in the way a regular common man like me will run. They will run in a different style. They will run with that financial acumen. Otherwise, who will talk about valuation for a joint like Rameshwaram Cafe? Today, all over the news it is there. 1,800 crores valuation. So that was another thing which amazed me. Even after CA, they can still run a petty hotel shop. Finally, another area which I got amazed, when I met this gentleman 7-8 years back, not 10 years back. The professor I told you, did I tell you one professor, I mean not the professor, the teacher whom I went and met in that Sabha. The same teacher, I had worked with him for a lot of initiatives, and finally they all become friends. So I used to visit their place. So one day when I visited, he was taking some class in his place. And there were around 100 students in that class. And one gentleman was sitting here like this. He was in his 60s. I said, sir, why are you allowing parents to come and sit inside? He said, Anbu, don't talk loudly. He's not my parent. He's not a parent. He's my student. He was in his age of 59 that time. His name is S.D. Bala. He's an ex-banker. He challenged the entire community. After retirement, in 58th year, he started CA, and in 62 he completed CA. He started learning, studying, just like a typical student going to a class. Unlike now you all go to one center or one place where everything is available. Those days it is not like that. If there are some 10 papers, they will go to 10 places. One subject, they will go to West Mambalam on Motamadi. You know Motamadi? There is one teacher who sits in the Motamadi and teaches in West Mambalam. They will go there. For next subject, they will go to Mainapur Fine Arts Club. The professor or the teacher whom I told, MP Vijay Kumar, will be teaching in Madras Fine Arts Club. He is the current CFO of CPE. For another class, they will go to Naradagana Sabha. T.N. Manogaran will be teaching, who is the chairman of Canara Bank today. The person whom I said is C.A. Patabiram. He will be teaching some strategic account management or whatever. And all of them will be in different places. They will not be in one school. It is not one center. They will be in different. This itself is amazing me. So I was more amazed about that student, which is you, an individual like you. He wakes up early morning, 4 o'clock or 3 o'clock. Then he goes to his first class in Mylapore, second class somewhere in Mambalam, then goes to his horticulture, comes and takes our life, kind of clients like us. He will have to drill all of us. Then again go back by 4 o'clock. Then he will do self-study. Then ICAI will call for this kind of program. They will have to come and attend. Then again he goes in the night. He has to study the next subject. And in spite of after that, they will say there is one online. You buy this video and learn. Hats off to all of you, my dear friends. You have to give a big round of applause to all of you. On this day, I understand the pain and the effort the students put in. I don't know whether now it is easy, because whatever examples I am quoting was little earlier. But end of the day, the efforts what you put in will yield you result very, very strongly. From that days, I made some friends. They were all students there. Today, one Satya Kumar is a qualified chartered accountant, CS, a lawyer. He is practicing somewhere in Mylapore. I know at least 10 of them are with I'm talking about the close circle, whomever I have dealt, they are with the big fours. At least 10 are practicing in different next to big four audit firms. I know their success. But all it requires few things to do here when you are here today. You may be in foundation or inter or finals, I don't know. But according to me, because I'm from the other side, not from the CA fraternity, you are in the period of higher education. Rajinikanth in one movie said, life has to be seen into 8 parts. Do you all know it? For our, because of our time, we will see it in 3 parts. I have defined myself life in 3 parts. The first part is school. What do we do in school? Right from 1st standard to 12th standard? Any answer? Learn basics. No. Play? No. Mostly all of them. Now when you say school, it is not driven by you and me, no. It is always driven by parents and teachers. In school, our entire 12 years, we worry about only one thing. What is that? Don't tell mark, 12th standard mark. Even in 10th standard, we worry about 12th standard mark. As soon as you go to 6th standard, people worry about, will I get IIT-Chennai, for which I have to get 12th standard mark. The world was worried only about the 12th standard mark. World didn't worry whether I understood the basics of finance. World didn't ask me whether I know credit and debit. In spite of me learning 11th, 12th finance and commerce, world didn't ask me whether you know credit and debit. World didn't ask me whether there is a difference between savings and current account. But I have written that exam, I have passed, and I am here today. We were all marks driven. That was our life in school. And they would have also made one good statement to all of you. They means the parents and our teachers. You study well, you get score nicely in +2, your life is settled. Did they not tell you? Yes or no? Whether you are from Andhra or down south Kanyakumari, they would have told this statement. Even in Kashmir, they will tell in Hindi. But they would have definitely told. Madam, you would have told your kids, no? You get good score in +2, all problems are over, your life is settled. But after coming here, you would have by now realized the problem starts now only. The real problem starts when you leave the school and come here. Because in school, you are worried only about that one single thing called marks. Nothing else you are worried. But today we are supposed to worry about many things. Because the outcome of the next part of life, which is college according to me, which is higher education according to me, which is your CA according to you all, this is the period where you have to worry about lot of things, not only the marks. But in your case it is different, little different, because you are all more worried about the marks because you have to qualify CA. But will that be sufficient? To me, answer is no. Will that be sufficient if I just score the marks? Answer is no. Because there is a next part which is called what? First part is school, second part is college life. What is the third part? Third part? Work life. Then, any other answer? Any other answer? No, you can tell it loudly. Marriage. Excellent. Then, excellent. Next. Excellent. Yeah, you are 100% right. Next. Any other answer? Any other answer? What is the next part's name? Employment. Next. A good wife. Good. Excellent. Next. Huh? Parenting. Excellent. Earning. Money. Okay. Tell ya some more. Tell me 3 more. That's all? Responsibility. Then? Buying assets. By end of the day, money. I would only say money. I have to earn. Being successful. Recognition. Excellent. 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 Then what else? Okay. Let us stop here. First part was school. You were worried about only one thing called mark. Second part is higher education. According to you, CA. What we are worried about is a dash. We have to underline and keep it pending. You are telling the next part of life, according to me, that is the life. School life, college life, my life. The my life will start only after this particular period. And my life, there is no definition for that. Whatever you said is my life. Because my life is different to each of them. Madam said I should succeed. Somebody said I should get married. Somebody said I will earn money. Somebody said I will buy a house. I will buy an asset. Somebody said I will do good things to the nation or good things to the society. I will become a big person. You can give any number of definition because there is no standard definition. I myself told you 5 examples. I know somebody, CA, who completed with rank teaching music. For her, success is teaching music. I know somebody who wants to give their entire life to a big 4. I know one more guy who says, I will never step into a big 4. I will build a big 4. One lady says, I will run a hotel and I will succeed. One gentleman says, I will teach. So within the same community, there is no one success mantra. And one more gentleman said, once I qualify CA, I am from Andhra, I can get married. By default, I will become 50 crores worth. I don't know how. This is the reality. You need not laugh. This is the reality. You can go back and check the records. That is okay. Because success is different to different people. But I thank you for that one line, ma'am, because all we want is success. Having said that, I also know students, 15 years he's been struggling to complete CA. Another student who completed CA, he is not able to make next to an article student in that firm. He's got a CA with him. Reason is he cannot talk. He's a qualified CA. He cannot talk. The respect and the demand what an article assistant gets, this CA does not get in that particular firm. There is another CA, another student, tried for 10 years, decided this is not my game. They moved to some other profession. Or there is one more guy who says, why I need CA? Now I got into company. I completed BCom, I completed MCom, I tried for 10 years. I couldn't crack. But I am doing well in my company. Let me go and do an IIM MBA. That fellow did an IIM MBA. He is more powerful than the CA today. My dear friends, if you notice, all these are possible only with your fraternity. It is not possible with engineering or our medical fraternity. We all have to pass and move. In your case, whatever happens, your life will go on. There's a dialogue in one movie, right? Whatever happens, life has to go on. For you, it will easily move on. But only thing is, the factor of success will be different to different people. 5 of you sitting in one row will have 5 different lives from all the examples that I quoted. One will be in Big 4, one will be in consulting, in Big 4, one will be in audit, one may be in some company working in corporate finance, one may be leaving this profession, one may still struggle. You have to decide who you are. But you are into this campus or you are into this learning of CA with an assumption you will qualify and you will get success in that profession or that domain. Today you are not here to prepare yourself to become like the founder of Rameshwaram Cafe. Am I right? That you can do after you go out of the CA education. Once you complete CA, then your life will take you to different places. But sitting today, my one and only goal is to crack CA, number 1. Number 2, successfully start my journey. Successfully start my journey. That can be anywhere. I will not say where it is. It is your wish. For which all you need is 3 things according to me. I will only give 3 inputs today. Number 1, you should be passionately working for this particular profession. There is one word called passion that should be your mantra. If you don't have that passion, you will not have that self-motivation to wake up by 3 o'clock. All the boys, whomever I quoted, they will wake up by 3 o'clock to reach that class by 4 o'clock. Even today when I walk in Velachery, I find at least some 100 girls going to some center. I saw one student, I asked, where are you going? They said, 5 o'clock I am going for a class. I think that is the first level motivation you need. That will come only when you are passionate towards becoming a CA. If you don't have that passion, you will not wake up by your first alarm in 3 o'clock tomorrow morning. That itself will decide whether you are passionate or not. Are you pressing the snooze button every day? Which means I question your passion towards this profession. Are you waking up before the alarm? I would say you are very passionate to what you are doing today. Second, many people after completing CA are not able to progress well in this fraternity. This is my own personal feel, nothing from any report. It is their ability to communicate. I've seen hundreds of CAs in my entire tenure of 25 years. Whoever is successful, whether in practice or in corporate, are good communicators. Whoever is not successful, they are poor communicators. That's all. Everybody would have qualified. Once you qualify from this institute, you have your certificate, you have your membership number, it is in the board. So there is no difference between you and him. But the success is chased the people who are strong communicators in this profession. I will not tell this for MBBS or engineers, because in doctors or engineers, even if you are not a communicator, you can prove through something else. I can innovate this bike and show to the world. I need not talk at all. I can go and do a surgery in your heart. I can still be not a communicator. In fact, many doctors don't even communicate well. They will tell you in 3 words. I did this, I did this, I did this. They will not talk more than 3-4 words or 3-4 sentences. But your profession is not like that. If at all you have to succeed, as that madam said, if success is the one which you are chasing, if that article assistant whom I am referring to is a strongest communicator, he will pinpoint questions such a way that you cannot answer him. Who succeeded well, you go back and check in CA fraternity, they are strong communicators. You have to work on that. The third one, this profession needs inquisitiveness. Which stocks touched upper circuit yesterday of 20%? Any one of you? One answer. Which stock touched lower circuit yesterday? Which IPO is opening right now? 9:30. No, I am not asking you any answer now because it's wrong. Don't worry about answering me. Question yourself. If you don't know that, you are not inquisitive for your profession. That's all. This is not general knowledge, okay? This is not, you need not know the answer now. But what I am saying is, you should be inquisitive to your profession, your industry. You don't need to be inquisitive about who am I. By understanding that you earn nothing. But you should know what is happening. Why is there is so much talk about HDB? You said rightly. It is not listing today, it is listing next week. But you should know, why is that such a big IPO? It is part of HDFC. It's already listed. Why is it again listed? What is the reason? All these inquisitive questions you will have to ask. You will have to ask. I need not ask. I am a layman. You are preparing for this industry. For all these three, what you need is one important thing, which is called habit. HABIT. If you don't understand this power of one word called habit, success will not come behind you. If you understand the power of this one word called habit, success will chase you like anything. What is the one powerful habit which we have inculcated? All of us, including me, not only the CAs. All of us, which is the one powerful habit we have inculcated? Eating is not a habit, ma. It is your need. Eating is not a habit. Tell me one powerful habit. Huh? Perseverance, I am not having that habit, yeah. Time management. No, not everybody. Reading to some extent, but I don't agree. Yeah, tell me, sir. Okay, I will tune the question little more. Which is the one powerful habit? Which is the one powerful habit that we all do every day? Who is that? Raise your hand. Stand up. Give him a big round of applause. The most powerful habit all of us have inculcated is this: brushing our teeth. Do you know why it is powerful? Do you know why it is powerful? Number one, I do it every day. Number two, I do it even if no one is there at home. Am I right? I do it even if nobody is there at home. Number three, I do it without even knowing that I am doing it. Which means, I will take my brush, I will apply paste, I will be brushing. At the same time, I will be doing something else, mostly. I will be watching TV, I will be watching mobile, I will be looking at somewhere, news will be running, my entire mind and heart is there. This is the only habit. Your entire mind and heart is not in brushing. In our school days, somebody would have taught it. Brush up, brush down, brush left, brush right, brush in, brush out. Somebody taught us, right? Nobody is teaching today. But our hand knows to do that job perfectly. Our subconscious mind knows to do that job. Our heart and mind today need not think about that habit. You just take the brush, that's all. You just think over. No, today morning, are you conscious about brushing like this? Okay, wait, let me brush and come up, down. Did you do that? No. These are the three reasons why that is the most powerful habit of a human. If somebody is not there also, I will still brush. Today, nobody is there. Why should I brush? Let me skip brushing. One or two may do that. I am not talking about that one or two. I am talking about 99 of us. We don't do it. Whatever habit has become as powerful as this brushing habit, that means you have mastered in that. Once you master, things will be automatic. You need not spend time and energy for that. In order to show your passion, in order to improve your communication skill, in order to show your inquisitiveness, build some micro habits. Watching 8 to 8:30 NDTV profit can become my habit tomorrow. Reading business line page number 7 may become my habit tomorrow. Tracking the top 10 stocks every day should become the habit tomorrow. Taking the strong news and digging it deeper should become my my habit tomorrow. I am talking about only habits relevant to your profession. I am not talking about how to reduce your belly and all. That I will take care. You don't worry. I am only talking about your habits that can help you to grow bigger. Second, can I read or learn for 4 hours without fail every day? Until you make all these as your habits, success will not chase you. My dear friends, I definitely know this profession, you struggle hard to reach there. And I have definitely seen the pain of people who are unable to reach there. So I wish everybody to be in the first basket. Request all of you to passionately pursue your education. Spend your time in your learning 4 to 6 hours every day without fail, in spite of your articleship, in spite of whatever you're doing, your work. Be inquisitive to everything towards your profession. Be on your toes on current affairs. Find ways, seek ways to improve your communication skills in your own ways. There is no 30 days course to make you speak well. If there is a 30-day course, you can find outside your office saying 30 English Bhasha 30 days. If that has happened, all of us would have been Shakespeare by now. Nothing will make you to talk well in English. What will make you to talk well in English? What will make you talk? What will make you talk? Nothing, you have to talk. How do you talk in English? You have to talk in English. I spoke for 1 hour or 45 minutes. Time is over. I would have made 10 grammar mistakes. This madam knows it very clearly. She would have thought in her mind, hey, this fellow, we have given an opportunity to come and talk. He's made this 10 mistakes. She would have thought in her mind, let her think, what do I lose? Do I lose anything? Can she put me behind bars? Can she reduce my salary today in the company? She can do nothing. She can only think. World will think about you, but they have other job to do next minute. Don't worry about that. What others think about you is none of your business. Just focus on communicating. I will communicate today with 10 mistakes. Tomorrow I will make it into 9 mistakes. Day after tomorrow 8 mistakes. 1 year down the line I will speak like madam. If I think, oh my God, there are thousands of students. If I talk in English, if I make grammar mistake, what will happen? If I sit there without talking, I will have to sit there throughout my life. If at all you want to become strong, successful profession after CA, master your communication. Master your communication. That will happen only through talking. Find means to talk to everybody. All the very best on the CA day, and thank you very much, madam. Best wishes to all the CAs. Thank you very much, all of you.
On behalf of everyone gathered here, I extend heartfelt gratitude to Dr. Anbuthambi sir for his truly inspiring and enriching session. Sir, your words have deeply resonated with us. You not only celebrated the dedication and depth of chartered accountancy profession, but also opened our eyes to life beyond designation, a life filled with purpose, continuous learning and contribution. Your emphasis on the importance of effective communication skills and power of being inquisitive in our industry was especially impactful. You reminded us that technical expertise alone isn't enough. What sets profession apart is their curiosity, clarity, and ability to connect and convey ideas meaningfully. Thank you, sir, for motivating us not to just be better professionals, but also better individuals. We are truly grateful for your presence, your perspective, and your powerful message. Thank you, sir. Now I request CA Revathi Raghunathan ma'am, chairperson of SIRC, to come onto the dais, and CA Abhishek Murali sir to come onto the dais. Now I request CA Revathi Raghunathan ma'am to share her insights.
A very warm good morning to everyone. Dr. Anbuthambi, I know I came late. Okay. I plan my day. I do a minute by minute MOM in my mind, how I'm going to spend, meet everything, all the targets that day. Somehow today I thought I have to be at the institute at 8:30. And my MOM started with that, and so I made a mistake. And so when Sir asked, what is the most important thing, habit, which you should practice, I was petrified. Is he going to say that, time, you should keep up to time? Luckily for me, he said the other most subconscious activity of all of us, brushing our teeth. And sir, you've made it a very conscious habit for us from today. Whoever brushes their teeth, as soon as you get up in the morning, you'll think, okay, I'm going to brush my teeth. I'm going to take the brush. It's not a subconscious activity. It is something which all of us are going to be very, very conscious about. So I'm actually feeling very apologetic for coming late and also for missing this, I'm sure, the other fantastic words which you have shared. And a very, very warm welcome and good morning to Abhishek Mulli, my colleague in the council, all the chartered accountants here, and all the budding chartered accountants. Very happy CA day to all of you. Yes? Yes, yes. You are all going to become chartered accountants, so show more enthusiasm. Okay, so I don't think I want to actually come here and talk over whatever sir said. You've all been inspired and motivated to become chartered accountants. But there are two things which I wanted to tell you, sir. You said that you should be inquisitive. I really, appreciate that. But don't you think that you're all very inquisitive? Yes? Don't have doubts. You're all preparing to be a chartered accountant. What do you all do? Sir, inquisitiveness is ingrained in chartered accountants. The day you join the course, that day your inquisitiveness actually bubbles up and you are all on your path. Okay, what do you do as a chartered accountant when you're doing an audit? Right? You will sometimes think, okay, there's something wrong here, right? Don't you think that? And then what do? You start checking. Isn't that your inquisitiveness? Okay, so sir rightly said that inquisitiveness is what you should all actually be focusing upon. So develop that skill, whether you develop it consciously or, subconsciously, the day you join CA, your inquisitiveness develops and you will peak. Okay, everything. As you go on in life, you realize that, CA has actually spoiled certain things for you. You want to go somewhere, you will mentally, subconsciously taking note of all the people who are around you, all the actions around you, what are they doing. You will notice their body language, you will notice the way they're talking, you will notice whether he's making eye contact with you. Okay? Whenever you talk with anyone, what you will do is subconscious. It is not a conscious habit. You will just see, is he making eye contact with me? Your auditee, perhaps, when you're going for audit, is he making eye contact with you? You subconsciously notice, oh, he's not making eye contact. You won't think he's not making eye contact. You will think there's something wrong. There's something in this guy which is indicating he's trying to hide something from me. Right? Or if somebody is going on looking at you like this, eye contact, you will still think, what is wrong? Why is he looking at me so much? What is he trying to hide? Right? All these are the things which you actually develop subconsciously, and it becomes even more subconscious than I would say, or on par. Okay, let's always now, for me, on par is brushing my teeth. That is the benchmark, and that is where we all have to actually develop it. Consciously you start developing it, it will become a subconscious habit for you. And the next thing which sir said was, he was talking about Doctors, they don't have much communication skill. I totally agree. They definitely, of course, nowadays they are a lot better, but doctors don't have much of a communication skill, and chartered accountants should develop their communication skills more. As Sir said, I agree with him a lot. From today, develop your communication skills. Listen to the English. You know what? Just let's forget about we are a Hindi speaking nation or a Tamil speaking state. What we need is a common language to communicate across the globe, and which is English. Let's accept it. Whatever your personal preferences are, just leave it. So what do? You read a newspaper every day aloud. Okay, check your pronunciations. Try to speak. You should be an expert, again, subconscious expert in something. So I'll come back to what Sir said about doctors not having too much of communication skill and that we should develop it. There's one more thing, which is worse. Which is a worse practice for doctors. He may be an outstanding specialist, world-class specialist, much in demand. Have you seen their prescriptions? Right? Have you seen their prescriptions? You'll try so hard to decipher what is there in it, and you'll be so worried whether the pharmacy is going to give you the right medicine. Okay? You'll be worried, idudana எழுதிருக்காங்க அங்க 50 போட்டுருக்காரா 30 போட்டுருக்காரா 80 போட்டுருக்காரான்னு யாருக்கும் தெரியாது. Only the doctor will know. Then if you keep on hassling that pharmacist, he will, maybe if he's in a good mood, he'll call the doctor and speak to him and get the medicine. So, what does this tell us? Yes, sir?
Today is Doctor's Day. They save our lives. Let's not belittle.
No. I am not belittling them. Yes.
This also today is a Doctor's Day.
Yes, absolutely.
They save our life for everything. And if couple of the doctors are not incommunicating or communicating, let's not belittle them.
Yes.
Chartered accountants also who cannot
Yes.
communicate. There are also chartered accountants who cannot communicate properly. We don't belittle them. They are a fraternity. Similarly, I think the doctors need today a special thanks for saving all of us
Absolutely, sir,
and giving me
absolutely.
a powerful lung despite my COVID. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. This example was not in any way to belittle doctors. You preempted me by telling me that Doctors' Day today, and we are celebrating. We are extremely grateful for all of them for putting their lives out for all of us. Why the question of handwriting came is, today we are all losing touch with writing as students, and you all still have to write the examination with your pens, right? We still haven't started typing out our answers. My purpose of telling you about handwriting is, in the context of your examinations, practice writing. Okay? When you're preparing for the examinations, take your sample question papers, take your RTPs, take the suggested answers, take the question banks and write the answers. Write the papers and check if you're able to actually complete the paper within 2.5 hours. Keep half an hour for yourself to check the question paper, check your answers, check if you've missed anything, check if you have inadvertently made any mistake. The context here is not in any way to belittle doctors. We all actually owe quite a lot to them, and they are the people who actually give their lives. When I say give their lives, they work for 48 hours. They work continuously for a week without a sleep. They do so much of night duty, and there's so much of contributions from them which we all have to learn from. That is the context in which the doctors was taken, because they are the people who, along with chartered accountants, the health of the nation is looked after by the doctors. The financial health of the nation is looked after by the chartered accountants, and we are all on par, and we are celebrating July 1st today as well as the GST Day, Doctors' Day, CA Day and GST Day. So wish all of you all the best, wish all of you a great success in life and that you become chartered accountants. Thank you.
Now I request CA Abhishek Murli sir to share his insights.
Very, very warm good morning to one and all present here. Chairperson of the SIRC, CA Revathi Madam, our chief guest and motivational speaker, Dr. Anbuthambi sir, the various gathering of professionals, faculties, and my favorite students. It's an honor and privilege to always be on CA Day, to have an opportunity to address the gathering. As I'm very happy to see early in the morning so many fresh, bright faces. Because even for me, getting up at 7 o'clock and coming is still difficult even today. But I hearken back to my CA student days, where we used to have classes early in the morning, at 6:15 in the morning. And if we are late by 5 minutes, the teacher will shout, "Why are you coming so late?" We'll finish our classes and then we will go to our office, because articleship used to be immediately after. Obviously, we'll have breakfast, go a little late. Then the principal will shout, "Why are you late to the office?" Then after working for a long day, I used to go home, then my mother will shout, "Why are you coming late to the house like this?" So getting shouted at is a routine part of, CA, and sometimes we always wonder, is it worth this difficulty? When you look at your BCom friends, your school friends, they must be enjoying a little bit. Yes, sir?
That's the reason you shout after becoming a CA. You shouted all of this.
So when you look at your colleagues, sometimes I used to feel, when I used to see my BCom friends, oh, they're playing cricket, they're playing football. Here I am studying for an exam. They'll say, "Come to play, macha." I'll say, "No, macha, I'm studying." "When is your exam?" 1.5 years later, I'm preparing today. They'll say, "My exam is tomorrow, I have not even started." They'll not understand. But, and especially articleship, people say it's a difficult period. I'm reminded of this story. 3 professionals die and they go to heaven. It's an advocate, then it's an engineer and a chartered accountant. So God says to the engineer first, "Mr. Engineer, you have constructed and certified buildings which are very, very poorly constructed, and because of your certification, number of families, they moved into that building which collapsed, and they all died and they lost their family, possessions, everything. So we are sending you to hell for 7 years. He said, "I'm so sorry, God," and all. Then he goes to the lawyer. He says, "Mr. Lawyer, you have defended criminals, people who are thieves, murderers, and because of you, they are all running free on the streets, killing more people. Because of that, we are sentencing you to hell for 7 years. Yeah, I'm sorry, my lord." And then finally he comes to the CA. He says, "Mr. CA, you have certified a balance sheet and financial statements which public have invested their funds in, and it's a fraud company. Because of your certification, loads of people have lost all their money, their whatever they worked hard to build. Because of that, we are sending you to hell for 5 years. Immediately, that advocate said, "Sir, how is this fair? They and all you're sending for 7 years, but for CA alone 5 years. He said, "My dear friend, you are forgetting they have finished 2 years articleship already." So, jokingly we may say that articleship is a tough period. But what I want to tell on this CA day is taking a pride in your profession. If you ever traveled on a public transport, either a bus or a train, if you mention to the person sitting next to you, "Sir, I am a CA or I am studying for CA," immediately the way he looks at you is different. "Sir, எனக்கு GST ஒரு சின்ன டவுட் இருக்குங்க. எனக்கு capital gains கொஞ்சம் tax save பண்ணணும். Give me some advice." But you may actually not know anything. He does not know, I skipped that chapter for the exams. By choice. Okay, 8 marks only, we can leave it. But that's how society looks at you. When society sees you, they see you as a person who's, he must know. He must have that knowledge. So that means you and I both have a responsibility to uphold that view of society. If we are going to walk out and tomorrow they want to look at us and say, "Oh, he's a CA." Not he's a, normal profession, normal qualification. CA means, I have to look up to him and seek his advice. If we have to maintain that, we have to ensure that upskilling ourselves, we, as ma'am said, be inquisitive, analyze, try to use an application of mind. Don't copy paste. Once upon a time, Obama invited the Japanese Prime Minister to visit him. But the Japanese Prime Minister is not fluent in English. So the translator is telling him, "Sir, when you land in the US, you will go down to greet Obama. You should say, 'Hello, how are you?' He'll say, 'I am fine, how about you?' You should say, 'Yes, me too.'" So entire flight, the Japanese Prime Minister is practicing. "Hello, how are you? Hello, how are you? Yes, me too. Yes, me too. Hello, how are you?" And then he lands in the US. He comes down the stairs. Obama and his wife are there to greet him. And he comes down the stairs and shakes his hand. But instead of saying, "Hello, how are you?" He says, hello, who are you? He says, hello, who are you? But Obama is a very witty person. He's extremely smart and very quick. So he thinks that the Japanese Prime Minister is playing with him, that he is joking with him. So when he says, hello, who are you? He says, I'm Michelle Obama's husband, how about you? But our sir has mugged and come, no, like our auditing paper. Say, yes, me too. This happens even at the highest level, but jokes apart, what I'm trying to say is that mugging we should avoid. Keep it to your auditing paper, it's not beyond that. But analyze, be inquisitive, ask questions, because these certain attributes are going to hold you in the long stead. And remember always, while we may joke within ourselves, we must always carry that pride of those two letters. I am a CA, or I'm going to be a CA, a future chartered accountant. It's a matter of huge pride, and that is why you have chosen this profession. And I assure you, I think the very fact that all of you have taken time out, you could have easily have not come today. You could have easily have chosen, I will say I'm coming, but I'm not coming. But the fact that you are here itself indicates to me the kind of commitment and the dedication that you have. And I am sure that all of you will clear the CA and you will uphold the same ethics, the same integrity, the same pride that we do. Wishing you all a very happy CA day. Thank you very much for this opportunity.
Now I request CA Revati Raghunathan ma'am and Abhishek Murli sir to present a small memento to our chief guest of the day.
Not just to celebrate the foundation of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, but also to honor the values of integrity, excellence, and service to the nation that define us as chartered accountants. Let us celebrate the journey, the contributions, and the future of our profession with enthusiasm and pride. So before we go, I like the members to rise up for the ICAI motto song and begin our celebration.
य एष सुप्तेषु जाग्रति य एष सुप्तेषु जाग्रति कामं 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 कामपुरुषो पुरुषो निर्मिमाणः निर्मिमाणः तदेव शुक्रं तद्ब्रह्मा तद्ब्रह्मा तदेवामृतमुच्यते तस्मिन् लोकः शतः सर्वे तदूनात्यति कश्चन एतद्वैता 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 एतद्वैता.
Thank you. I also request members to listen to the Vice President and President message. So, just.
Dear members and students, when ethics lead the way and trust is our foundation, progress becomes an inevitable path, building a future of integrity and excellence. With these words, I extend my heartfelt wishes to every member and student of our ICAI family on the 77th Chartered Accountants Day. You are the financial soldier of our economy, and with your dedication, India is poised to become a true global economic powerhouse. Our focus for the year ahead is anchored in a powerful theme, one that reflects the essence of our profession. The ICAI's theme for the year 25-26, Vishwasaniya, encapsulates our commitment to building a profession that is trusted, innovative, and future ready. Each facet of Vishwasaniya, from vision to Viksit Bharat, integrity and sustainability, innovation, youth and women-led development, and accountability, represents the core values that will guide our journey in strengthening public trust and contributing meaningfully to national growth. As the 73rd president of ICAI, I feel immense pride in leading an institution that began its journey in 1949 with just 1,700 members and 259 students, and has now grown into the world's largest accounting body with over 14.5 lakh members and students. Today, chartered accountants are not just auditors. We are advisors, strategists, and visionaries, shaping India's governance and economic structure. Today, as India stands proud as the world's fourth largest economy, the role of chartered accountants is more crucial than ever, shaping governance, driving growth, and upholding financial integrity. ICAI continues to align with key national priorities. We have established strategic partnerships with institutions like the C&AG, SCOPE, Rashtriya Raksha University, and National Forensic Sciences University, advancing financial governance, forensic accounting, and professional training. We are committed to enhancing financial and tax literacy, empowering citizens and professionals alike. Our outreach programs such as MSME Yatra and Startup Manthan energize grassroots businesses and local economies. In support of the Honorable Prime Minister's vision to scale Indian firms globally, ICAI is fostering collaboration, helping firms grow through shared strength and synergy. The profession is embracing innovation with over 20,000 members trained in AI, the launch of ICAI CA GPT, and other initiatives. We are preparing CAs to lead in the digital age. Our quality assurance mechanisms like Financial Reporting Review, Peer Review, and Center for Audit Quality uphold audit standards and strengthen public trust. We established the Committee for Promoting Work-Life Balance and Group on Enabling Lifestyle for Environment to support our members' holistic well-being, rooted in our guiding principles of excellence, independence, and integrity. ICAI remain a symbol of national trust. Let us continue to lead with ethics, empower with innovation, and build a future where every CA is not just a professional but a pillar of progress. We don't just audit books, we lead in shaping the story of India's financial progress. Thank you.
My dear members and students, at the outset, I wish you all a very happy Chartered Accountants Day. It was on this day the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India has been set up by an Act of Parliament, setting the foundation for a profession that has since become synonymous with trust and financial stewardship in our country. The motto of our institute, which reads as Ya Yasesu Suptesu Jagrati, meaning a person who is awake in those that are asleep. The motto itself reflects the vigilance and responsibility that chartered accountants uphold in safeguarding the financial integrity. Our profession is built on the bedrock of trust, precision, and accountability. These are the qualities that have positioned chartered accountants as partners in India's growth story. From ensuring compliance to driving strategic decision making, from fostering transparency to enabling sustainable development, our contributions are both measurable and profound. And it is really heartening to note that chartered accountants understand and discharge their responsibilities in the most efficient manner. Our ability to adapt ensures that we remain relevant and impactful in an ever-changing world. The global economy is undergoing rapid transformation, driven by technological advancements, evolving regulatory frameworks, and increasing demands for sustainability. Our institute has led this change, equipping our members with cutting-edge tools and knowledge through continuous professional education, robust training programs, and forward-thinking policies. Our students and members are the pillars of our profession. As we look ahead, our priorities are clear. We will continue to modernize our curriculum to align with global standards, expand of the digital infrastructure to enhance the accessibility and advocate the policies that empower our profession. Further, we'll strengthen our partnerships with international accounting bodies to ensure that Indian chartered accountants remain globally competitive. On this Chartered Accountants Day, let us celebrate our shared commitment to excellence and our collective responsibility to shape a prosperous future. Together, with clarity of purpose and a rational approach, we will continue to elevate the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, ICAI, as a symbol of trust, competence and transparency. Thank you. Wish you all the best.
As we look forward to the future with hope, innovation, and determination, we must never forget the footsteps that laid this very path. Our senior members are more than professionals. They are the living institutions carrying decades of insight, experience, and sacrifices. Today, we take a moment to honor and felicitate our senior members. And I welcome Revati S. Raghunathan, Chairperson of SIRC of ICAI, to give the welcome address and start and give the felicitation of senior members.
So, good evening, everyone. A very, very happy CA day to everyone here. I'm not going to take any time and give the welcome address. It has already been given to us by the President and Vice President of ICAI. So, it's actually very heartening that many members have come today. We are trying a lot of innovative programs also at SIRC. So we need all your support for the same. So please do come in large numbers. And we also have this practice of honoring all our senior members on CA Day. And so today we have invited a few members. Some of them have come. Whoever has come, we are going to honor them because they are the foundation of our profession on which we are all resting. So it is only apt that we actually honor them on the day of foundation day of the institute. And before we actually move on to honoring them, I want to share with you this certificate which has been issued to us by the Children's Hospital Egmore. There were a total of 105 donors who came and donated blood today morning. We had a blood donation camp where members and students came and donated blood, and they were very happy that around 105 members, students and members. Yeah, which will go to support more than 200 children for all their blood requirements. 400 children for their blood requirements. So I want to place on record the appreciation here for all the blood donors and also to CA Jayachandran who enabled this initiative of ours. And we keep doing these blood donation camps, on every important day. So it would be great if more members and students come and participate in this. That's it. We will move on to the felicitation of the senior members. I request Abhishek Murli also to join me here, Regional Council member. Thank you.
Yeah, as part of CAD celebrations and the VCAT program, which focuses on connecting with and acknowledging the contributions of senior members, we are honored to honor our senior members. May now call upon CA Vijay Raghavan Sridharan. May I now request Vijayaraghavan sir to share his words of wisdom.
Okay. Hello. Everybody, very good evening. I am in the profession from the year 1971 to 70 onward. Nearly 55 years of continuous practice. My main practice is taxation and appeals and tribunals. And besides statutory audit of banking and so. I find that the profession is upholding integrity and for excellence. And we will not yield to anybody else's pressure. That is my desire. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very, very much. Yeah. I think the word which we should notice in practice for the past 65 years, he's still not retired, he's still practicing. So I think we should give him a big round of applause for that. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Our next is Senior Chartered Accountant, C.A. Kannanian.
Good evening, members. First, wish you all a happy CA day. And today happens to be the happy day for doctors also. Just like they take care of health of everyone, we take the financial health of everyone. So I wish all chartered accountants and particularly youngsters a happy, joyous future. Thank you.
A few more words about yourself.
Yes. See, I passed out in 1971 November, and I joined my father and brother. Both are chartered accountants. My wife is also a chartered accountant. She passed out in 74.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much, Kannan sir, for sparing your valuable time and your presence. To come forward and receive our honors.
Hello, my name is Ramesh, and I qualified as a CA in May 1972. I have been in service until my retirement. I have been in the service of Syndicate Bank. After my retirement, once again I had resumed private practice. I was in practice till recently. Only this year I had given my certificate of practice. Because of my age and health, taking into account my age and health, I wish all the junior and young chartered accountants a very bright future. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Ramesh sir. May I now request Sundar Rajan TN sir to come forward and receive our honors, please.
Dear members, I'm very happy to be part of this CAD celebrations today. I qualified as a chartered accountant in the month of May 1972, and ever since my qualification, I was in the industry. Particularly, I was in employment with a few manufacturing industries, taking care of their finance division. I was an accounts officer with Kamani Engineering Corporation Group. I was also involved with Indian Overseas Bank for a short stint as a accounts for finalization of group accounts of Indian Overseas Bank during the years 1988-89. And subsequent to that, I have moved into practice, and till now, I am in practice, and I am a partner of our Venugopal and Associates Chartered Accountants, who are established in the year 1988, and till date, I am continuing to be a senior member of this firm, and I continue to practice this. We are basically predominantly into working capital management support to the customers with whom we deal with, as well as the banks. We are doing stock and receivable audit for HDFC Bank, State Bank of India, Karur Vysya Bank, and a few others. And we are very happy that we are associated with banks in terms of supporting the bank's customers in managing their working capital. I'm very happy that our institute have recognized some of the senior members here. I'm very happy. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, T.N. Sundararajan sir. May I now request CA Ravishankar Subramanian sir to come forward and receive our honors, please.
Thank you very much. I am really honored to be felicitated today. I am Ravi Shankar. I qualified in the May 1972, and since then I am in continuous practice as a preparator with a short partnership in between, and now I am still in practice. My daughter is also a chartered accountant, but she is the workplace. Thank you.
Thank you, Ravishankar sir. May I now request CA Kadirvelu. He is being represented by his daughter Gayatri Devi. May I now request Gayatri Devi to come forward and receive the honors on behalf of his father, CA Kadirvelu K. May I now request CA A.R. Venkataraman sir to come forward and receive the honors, please.
Dear friends, it is a great pleasure to be present on this happy CA day. That is, we are on 77th year. I passed out in 72 November, joined Hindustan Photo Films, Ooty. For a continuous service, I joined as an AAO, retired as the chief executive of that photo films. And after that, I started my own practice. In between, I've also connected with our institute for coaching board lessons collections, taking classes in our Southern Regional Council. See, at all that years, you don't have much facility to educate the students. We have to learn ourselves. See, Mr. Ramaraj, we can't forget him. He was mindful and trying to develop the few people, eminent people, and they made them eminent in education systems. That we can't forget him on this day. I am very happy. We are little. Okay. See, we are 7 years older to State Bank of India. State Bank of India started their operations in 90. Today they are completing 70th day. We are on 77th day. But in money collections, we started our operations only about maybe 10 years back. Probably I'm little worried after a few years for entering our institute premises, institute may ask money to pay from chartered accountants. I think that is not correct. Anyhow, it is for the institute to correct it. We are given eminent lectures in this hall. Nani Balkavata has spoken, and many others have spoken. That lectures are missing now. See, they have to put their ideas. Anyhow, there's a generation gap. There is a global change in accounting professions. Well, our institute is helping the great way in educating the students in coming up with the global standards. Thank you, everybody. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. I extend our sincere gratitude to all our senior members for their presence, their blessing, and for the legacy they have continued to inspire us with. So, as we move on, so we have this next session by Work-Life Balance by C.S. Sreevathson, sir. In the midst of deadlines, audits and complaints and continuous learning, maintaining work-life balance often feels like a moving target for many of us. To share some practical and thoughtful tips on how we can balance our professional responsibilities with personal well-being, I invite C.S. Sreevathson, sir, to address on this. Welcome you, sir, on behalf of SIRC, and request you to continue the sessions.
Namaste to members. A very happy CA day. And I also take this day to congratulate, to thank doctors, and also this is known as the GST date. Okay, in multiple ways it boils down to CAs again. Well, if you look at the schedule of program, work-life balance is for 10 minutes, motivation speak. Ethics is for 1.5 hours. That's what the schedule of programs I received got. I understood that within 10 minutes I have to motivate you to work-life balance. The topic is not very easy topic. So, from the topic I derive, whatever is the balance I am not speaking today, I will get some other opportunity to come and speak on this same topic. Yeah, whatever I am not speaking now, at 6 o'clock there will be a play which will be enacted in this. I request all the members who are here to miss not that play. You will carry home something very interesting and important. Well, quickly to go into the topic, there has always been a debate, is it correct to name it as work-life balance? Is the terminology life does not include work,
or why are we segregating work from life? Honestly, there are many people who have said that work-life balance is not the correct terminology. It should be balance of life. It should be balancing of life for work and non-work purposes. But in today's scenario, I feel this is the right topic. Definitely today, work and a person who is going into the, I'm particularly talking about people who are less than 40, who are taking up their work or missing the slight essence of life. There is always, for every statement, there will always be a 10%, 15% exception. So that is not even, let the exception be 25%, but 75% of the population who are taking up work. I want to take this opportunity that I am a big fan, follower of Maslow's need hierarchy theory. Maslow is not just an economist. We all know it is very wrong to contain Maslow as an economist. He is beyond an economist. He is one of the philosophical speaker with regard to the need hierarchy theory. And this work-life balance is becoming a bigger problem in the last two levels. That is esteem and psychological needs. When a person reaches that esteem needs and psychological needs, that is where, not even at the bottom of the pyramid, that the person that the necessity needs or any other desires, there is not going to be an misconception. But whereas when you go up the ladder, when you go to the top of the pyramid, we feel that this work-life balance is missing. When people chase esteem, when people chase the psychological needs, that is where we are slightly missing on this work-life balance. And from there, because when in Maslow's time, it might take a person to come to that need at the age of 50 or 55, so that he would have the maturity to deal with the entire aspects. But today, to achieve that esteem needs, to go into that esteem needs, it will not be 50, it will be much lesser than 40. They reach that esteem needs, and that esteem needs makes them to lose the balance, is what my small study on this entire concept. I am not talking this from any studies. I am talking this by seeing people around me. I have been seeing these people. I have been always working with youngsters, both in my office and in various forms in which I am working. I am looking at them and understanding where they are exactly losing the balance. It's a constant study which I have done over the past 20-25 years, which gives me the strong belief that there was a third need in Maslow which is slightly missing from that. Love relationship need was the third need in Maslow's need hierarchy theory, which talks about friendship, which talks about family values, which talks about how to proceed to the next level of need, taking care of all these things. But today, the third need is slightly put down or not even looked upon. From the first need, second need, people jump to the esteem need. Esteem need is a very difficult concept, is a very unique concept, very well explained by Maslow. Very extremely intelligent concept, where he says he splits esteem needs into two: personalized esteem need, social esteem need. How you want to present yourself to the society, what you want to see inside you. And in his theory also he says that social need many times overtakes personal needs. That is, instead of satisfying yourself, You are trying to satisfy the external world by putting up a show, by putting up, so that if you take today's work, today's culture of work, I'm very happy at least on one aspect that I'm speaking to immediately after honoring the senior citizens who have approximately been in work for close to 60 years now. From whatever I understand, they have all been, whoever was speaking here was 1971 batch. So if they are 1971 batch, they would have joined their articles 3 years, 4 years before. So that can also be taken as a work period, etc. You can understand, but they have balanced it so very well. They have ensured that nothing is, to a larger extent, practicing chartered accountants have this benefit. I always feel that if at all there is a perfect synonym for work-life balance, chartered accountants of 5 years before, or those who are practicing for a longer period of time when there were only 2 or 3 due dates. Today, every month, every week happens to be due date. So that is entirely different. But if you are, the life balance becomes very simple. If it is for 5 years before, we had only, not even at that time, I don't know, when I started my practice, there was not even November 30th due date. There was only July 31st. At that time, it was September 30th. It was not even October 31st. It was September 30th. So those 2 months, we can ensure that at our home, we tell that these 2 months, we will not be coming home. For the rest 10 months, at home, they will ask us to go to office. That was the circumstance that was prevailing. So work-life balance at least was better for chartered accountants in practice. Today, I think the dynamics have changed a lot. Let us leave that for a minute. So work-life balance can be. Here, when we go to an employment aspect of it, when we take up the employment going people, let us leave for some time professionals. That is a smaller population. The president said that 14 lakh people. Let us leave that smaller population and look at the larger population of employment going people who are graduates or postgraduates who are spending 14 to 16 hours at desk. 14 to 16 hours, and I am nowhere exaggerating in my statement. At the end of the day, at the end of the week, at the end of the cycle, the amount of exhaustion, when I ask them what makes them to work for 14 to 16 hours, I did my articleship under B. Tyagarajan and Co. And I did it under respected Sri T.R.S. Sir, T.R. Subramaniam Sir. I have not worked beyond 6 p.m. on any of the days, and that I carried when I do when I'm in practice also. If you want to close your laptop at between 5 p.m. and 7 p.m. anytime, you have to open it at 9 a.m. If you are able to open it at 9 a.m., you will definitely close it by between 5 and 7 p.m. But unfortunately, the 9 a.m. starts. It is not opening of laptop. It is for multiple reasons. It starts at 9 a.m. and progresses till 11 p.m., 12 p.m. I see people coming back at 1 a.m., 2 a.m., not during due dates. I am not talking about the very rare dates. This has become an habit, and this has become a practice, and this psychologically affects them, physically affects them. I don't know the statistical data of this, but you all can very well understand what I am telling. The average age of getting some of the very difficult, not so impressive or not at all needed diseases has reduced and not exceeded. If somebody had a heart issue at the age of 50, 55, that has boiled down now to 35 to 40 years. And you see that amongst the medical community, repeatedly warning people that the age of getting some of the disorders is started reducing, and one of the reason is they are unable to balance well in their work. And again, the need hierarchy theory. Why they are chasing? If I look into it and if I try to understand amongst my people who I know, the only reason they are chasing is either money or the prestige value they want to carry or they want to portray. That's why I always say, somebody reading Maslow's theory, please read both the theories. He has written something about, as much as we have that in our texts, we have that in our religious texts very long back, but taking the modern economy also, he has clearly categorized both the needs. So when you chase it for those needs, you are unable to stop. It is like catching the tiger by its tail, and you keep on running or going around without understanding when to stop or whether stopping will be good or not. So that is where we are losing the focus. And I see, as I told you, my time is very short. I think I have already exceeded. So I see only one thing as a solution for work life. Though I can talk about a lot of other aspects, but only one thing as of now I see as a best work-life balance. To attain it, we need something known as contentment. If we are able to get that contentment, that state of mind which says that it is enough for me, I need not project myself. Let me be satisfied inside with whatever I do, with whatever I have earned or whatever means I have. If I can progress in my life, if that contentment is achieved, work-life balance is achieved. That time you will definitely close that laptop. That time you will definitely switch off the mobile phone. Switching off mobile phone does not mean switching off your mind from work. To switch off the mind from your work, you just need to do only one thing: be contented. I wish that the younger generation, I wish that people who are starting their employment are given the first lesson of contentment. That will ensure their work-life balance. Thank you, Sangeeta Madam. Thank you, Revathi Madam, for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you, sir. As we move ahead in our celebrations, let us now pause and reconnect with the core values that define us as chartered accountants: integrity, independence, and responsibility. These are just words from our curriculum. They are the foundation of trust that our profession proudly upholds. To walk us through the principal and practical aspects of the Code of Ethics, we are privileged to have with us our esteemed speaker, CA ANISH, sir. I welcome you, sir. And to formally introduce him, I now invite CA Abhishek Murli, Regional Council Member of ICAI, to do the honors, sir.
So, very warm good afternoon to one and all present here. I have the privilege of introducing the speaker of the day, CA ANISH. CA ANISH is a BCom, FCA, ADIT, and also has completed a certification on international taxation. He is a partner of a large firm of chartered accountants based out of Coimbatore and Chennai, and he is heading the Chennai practice. He is a speaker in various study circle programs in Coimbatore and Chengalpet branches of ICAI. He is a faculty in direct taxation and has mentored students for more than a decade. He has also authored books, and he has also introduced a unique technique called mind mapping and gamification of the Income Tax Act. It's a very interesting personality, and he is taking us on an important topic, which is the Code of Ethics. Thank you very much for your valuable time, Anish. I welcome you, and we're looking forward to your session. Thank you very much.
Sir, I also request CA Abhishek sir to honor our speaker with a moment to say. Thank you. Thank you, sir. I request CA Anish sir to be in the session.
Evolution started, and then comes Homo sapiens, which is us. So sapiens generally means the wise people. So Homo sapiens means yes. So human beings who are wise, they were called Homo sapiens. And then the society got divided into two parts. One was called the gatherers, where they don't accumulate things. They look for things in a day-to-day life. So they were called gatherers. And the second category of people were called agrarians, who started accumulating wealth, accumulating food. They started living in larger crowd, like 300 people in a village and all. So that's what happened as a next step. So then moving forward, it was hard to control a village of 300, 400 people. Therefore, the concept of kings came. So they were the rulers who were very strong. They started controlling others. They were giving instructions to others. And of course, there were priests who were giving knowledge to the king, saying how to run an economy. So that's how the evolution basically started. Again, when you talk about rules, generally people try to override a rule. So therefore, in order to make the rule very strong, there were very strong stories attached to a rule. For example, I don't want to talk about any kind of Indian stories because it ends up with the politic. So therefore, I would like to take a Egyptian story which became very strong over a period of time. So one place I want to travel, which is in my bucket list, is Egypt. So I want to take up a small Egyptian story, and it talks about mummies. So a few days back, I was watching a movie called Mummies, where that's a movie, and with that, a small story attached to it. So in Egyptian philosophies, they have two belief systems. Number one, they said that once an emperor dies, the servant should be buried along with the emperors. Imagine in our office, if a CA dies and the entire office employees, they are buried along with the CA. So that's how the concept initially worked. So similarly, they have a very different philosophy, saying they have an afterlife, like we do believe. So there is a judgment day once people die in Egypt. And what happens is there is an ostrich god called Osiri, which comes for the judgment day, and it carries a weighing scale along with it. At one end of the weighing scale, it will pull out the heart of the emperor and keep it, and other end it will place its own feather. So what happens is, in case the feather is going down and heart is going up, it means you are a very good person, you'll go to heaven. Reverse happens, the feather is going up and heart is going down, it means you have done a lot of sins, you'll go to hell. So that's how a term called light-hearted person happened in English, where your heart is lighter than Osiri's feather. So that's how the English phrase came into existence. So this story said Egyptian people that you should be a nice person, else Osiri will send you to hell. So that's how the belief system got evolved. So that's how the rules became very effective in Egypt. So that's how it happened. So coming to our topic, we are going to talk on a topic called professional ethics, and of course we have a lot of stories in the form of case studies and also real-time stories. I would like to connect this and of course go ahead with my presentation in this manner. So first of all, generally when we talk about discipline, we always talk about ants. We always say that ants, they follow a straight line. So there is a logic behind it and there's a science behind it. Like we do have in our ethics, it's very scientific. So there is something called as a chemical called as pheromones. With that, ants will follow the trail of others. That's a science behind it. So that's how discipline is formed. Similarly, for us professionals, in order to follow a discipline and follow a straight line approach, we have something called as professional ethics as a topic. So having said this, I want to take up few areas of professional ethics through a small storytelling approach. I would like to add a few of my favorite personalities to it so that we get to know the real insight of what ethics is. So to start with, I would like to take an eminent personality called Bill Gates, and this story is from one of the famous book called Microsoft Stories, and it's about Bill Gates. So coming to this, the story goes like this. Long back when Microsoft Corporation was formed, it was like there were 3 members, including there was a person called Steve Ballmer and Bill Gates, and that's how Microsoft Corporation established. So one of the biggest vendors for Microsoft was IBM. So they were very well associated with IBM. So IBM yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Sure, ma'am. Please, ma'am. Oh, Siri, ma'am. Sure. Yes. Yes. So going by the story, so when Microsoft Corporation established, so they were partnering with IBM, And one fine day, IBM wanted to bring out something called as operating system. And first they approached Bill Gates. A person called Sam from IBM is approaching Bill Gates. And he's asking like, why don't you make up OS for us? Bill Gates said, I have little idea about OS, and I know a person who does it excellently well. And he named a person called Gary, who does operating systems so very well. So now IBM people, a person called Sam is approaching Gary to understand how to make up operating system. And finally, the negotiation failed. And again, they are coming back to Bill Gates saying, Gary is not willing to take up. We had negotiation issues, therefore we are coming back to you. So that's when Bill Gates started getting into a contractual deal with a person called Tim from Seattle. And he already came out with an OS called QDOS. So the name is quite funny. So it's called as Quick and Dirty Operating System. So that's the first OS that came up, Quick and Dirty Operating System. So Microsoft acquired it and they renamed it as MS-DOS, which I was using in my school days. I'm very sure most of us would have tried it out, MS-DOS. So later on, MS-DOS became Windows over a period of time, and they launched their own version of OS. So this is something which happened with Bill Gates. So first thing is, Bill Gates didn't take up any kind of referral fee from Gary per se. He is always a man of opportunity. He acquires company and never goes by a referral. That's something I really loved about Bill Gates, and that's how he grew to this extent. Second thing is about the image here, so which is about a country called Ethiopia. This incident happened in the year 2019, where Ecuador. So Ecuador was subsidizing lot of fuel. So the fuels were subsidized, and the statistic says that in order to reach $1 of fuel subsidy to a consumer, government had to spend $20 in this process. So they withdrew the subsidy, and there was a 11 days long protest, and finally they said we are calling off this, and they brought the subsidy back into picture. So the understanding is, when there is a lot of referral fee involved, the cost of service might go up, and therefore the quality might come down. There's a larger logic to it. So of course, Institute in their own guidelines, they have always mentioned that referral fee is not strictly prohibited, but certain transaction, yes, when there is a disclosure of this referral to, let's say, when you are giving a work to a member, there could be a referral, but there should be a definite disclosure to your client. But non-member, we should not be sharing any kind of referral fees to them. So that's how the broader framework happened. Along with this, I want to pick up a small case law, which was from our own institute guideline perspective. So this case, yes.
This is just a quick interruption to Anish's fantastic presentation. We have two more senior members here whom we don't want to ask them to wait. So we will just honor them, and then we will move on. Yeah. CA Santana Krishnan K. So please do.
Delighted to be with you all today on this CA Day. Thanks for everything. Thank you.
Introduction or something, some words for the young members who are here. Please, no. Introduce yourself, sir. Please, thanks for all of us.
May I request CA Prabhakar G, sir.
feel honored to come back to the alma mater from where we derive all our fame and professional etiquettes and knowledge. And I really thank the Institute for recognizing the members, for the so-called senior members. But we have youngsters like Abhishek. The way in which he is blossoming, it gives us more pleasure to see that youngster institute is encouraging youngsters like him to come up in a huge way. And I feel this way, this profession is going to be in a very healthy hands. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
So yes, so we were talking about the referral fee, a small case study of how this works. So there was a case where there was a referral fee to a non-member. So is it good or bad or in the eyes of ICAI? So here a chartered accountant was found to have paid a commission to a non-member individual for procuring a professional assignment. The non-member has introduced a client for an audit. The respondent paid the non-member a percentage of professional fee earned, and there was no formal subcontracting arrangement, and the transaction was purely referral based. So in such case, of course, the final council verdict was so the CA membership was reprimanded, and the warning was given for such behavior. So again, professional fee to a non-member was a big no from Institute. This is again part of ethics, and I believe it's in lines with what the growth of how Bill Gates showed, where he never refers and he tries to acquire, or he refers it without a referral fee. So that's a small story learnt out of this. And going forward, this is one of my favorite images. It's about trees. In an economy like India, which is like fast growing, and also among developed countries, when you talk about, we have a lot of topics on what is called as carbon emissions, carbon credit, goes like that. So I was fortunate enough to read about trees. I think it is going to be the future where we'll be placed. So two stories really fascinated me. One was about a lady called Aruna Devi. I was reading a book on a community called Bishnois, and with that the story came in. So there was a small incident, there was an incident in Rajasthan where there were a lot of Kejri trees long back, and a lady called Aruna Devi was present, and the soldiers of the king, they were ordered to cut all the trees, and that's when Aruna Devi stepped in, and she stood in front of the Kejri tree, and she gave a very powerful statement. She said, I won't move away from the tree. The soldiers told, in case if you're not moving away, I'll be cutting or beheading you. So that was a statement given. So she made a very, very strong statement and bold statement. Even today, it is considered to be very bold. So she said, if my head is a price for a tree, I'm very happy to pay it. So she stood in front of the tree, and she was beheaded. Along with her daughter's head was equally beheaded. And almost like knowing this news, 300 villagers, they stepped in to this movement, and everyone's head got beheaded. And finally, the king realized that it was a grave mistake of doing this, and he said no trees to be cut, especially the Kejri trees in Rajasthan should not be cut. And later on, this translated into a very, very powerful movement called the Chipko movement, where people started hugging the trees. So it was Aruna Devi's effort, and it got translated. And I think trees should be preserved in the future. We should, more than giving wealth to our next generation, I think we should give a great environment to the next generation. So I think it's a very powerful topic. So talking about trees and ethics, how it's connected. So imagine there is a forest and a lot of trees are present. So trees do communicate with each other. They have, there is something called a soil fungi through which fungus through which each tree they start communicating. So imagine there is an insect which is hopping onto a tree and it's eating away the leaves of a tree, right? Generally, I don't believe that the tree should allow. So there was a famous actor who told tree could a living being done. So it happened like that, right? So so the insects start eating away the leaves of a tree, so which the trees won't allow. So what the tree starts doing is they emit a chemical which is called as stannous, which makes the leaves so bitter to chew. So therefore, the insect has an opportunity of jumping to another tree and start eating away the leaves. So this is where the communication mechanism helps. So the tree starts communicating with each other through, as I told you, a soil fungus happens. And with that, all other tree in the row, they'll get a communication saying that someone is going to eat away my leaf, you be careful. So that's a communication which is passed on between trees. So now all other trees, they start emitting this tannins chemical which makes the leaf so bitter so that the insect cannot eat it. So this is a communication mechanism between the trees. And more than that, there is a threat that the next day the insect may turn up and start eating away the leaves. So that's when the tannins chemical is let on to the air, and the birds can smell this chemical from a great distance too. So that's when the bird starts moving towards the leaf, they kill the insect and they hop off from the tree. That's what happens. So it's a defense mechanism of a tree. So if you try correlating all the story part with our ethics, our institute always insists on communication between the members. So in case there is an audit, let's say CA has done an audit and it is getting passed on to another fellow CA member. So he communicates with the previous auditor saying whether I can take the audit up. Is there a professional grounds on which you disagree on it? Whether your fees is settled in full. So we make a communication and then we take up the audit. So I believe we should all be that trees in a row where we communicate with each other. Imagine the insects to be the client. So they may probably cause some kind of harm to another tree in the row. So rather than that, it's better to have a great communication with each other. So on these lines, I would like to take up a small case study, yet another case study on non-communication part. So here it says that a member accepted an audit assignment of a company which was previously audited by another member. And before accepting the audit, there was no written communication made to the previous auditor. So what was the observation by the disciplinary committee? They said that the respondent has not communicated in writing with the previous auditor. The respondent claimed that the company was dissatisfied with the earlier auditor. They were given a very short notice and it was a verbal inquiry. And finally, the committee said that requirement of written communication is mandatory, and the fact that it was not done created a very bad situation, and finally the respondent was found guilty, and again there was a reprimanding situation. So again, something we can understand out of it is, yes, so as trees communicate with each other, so I think we are a very small community and it's good that we communicate with each other. So this is a small moral story I learned with from a book called Power of Trees. So that's a book. And going forward, so another very small and interesting story. You can see 3 images on the screen. So one is image of a tea, and second we have a cooker there, and third is an image of a great personality from India, Abhijit Banerjee. He's a Nobel laureate from West Bengal. So the story goes like this. We'll start 2000 calories. So a person requires almost like 2000 calories to run his day-to-day activities, whereas average US person consumes 4500 calories per day. So that's why you could see a lot of people obese in US. They consume a lot. So having said the statistics, so 7500 per day is produced per capita, 4500 per day is consumed per capita, and almost like 2000 to 2500 calories is a requirement per day. If you boil this down, we can definitely say that US is burning almost like 5000 calorie per capita per day. So that's the food waste what US is doing. On the other end, if you see the flip side of it, we can see a lot of malnutrition death in Africa and small countries. So this is something that happens. One place it's overconsumed and burnt, another place is looking for food and dying. So that's what happens. So having said this on the background, a quick understanding of what happens when we exceed the audit limit. More than what is required. So here they say that as per tax audit limit we have 60, and Companies Act we have 20 as a limit, subject to various exceptions. So here there was a case where there was a CA engaged in over-consuming audits. So a small fact says that the respondent was a practicing CA and he took 28 statutory audit assignments during the relevant financial year. The audit was accepted in his personal name or in the name of his firm. This included mix of public limited company and private limited company, let's say over 100 crores of paid up capital, and some of the network, the network firms. And finally, the institute had gone through this entire matter. They said the audit limit was exceeded. He has exceeded the limit of 20 or tax audit 60 as the case may be. And finally, again, there was a reprimanding of CA and a small suspension of his membership. So again, the story talks about how we consume adequately is important. So let's say when you talk about food, a person, Abhijit says that a person consumes less than 2000 calorie will fall into a poverty curve. Anyone who consumes 2000 calorie or more will be substantially in a very good position. So from this perspective, we can always consume adequately and let's not overconsume. So that's a small understanding I derived from the story of consuming adequately. And coming to the next part of our ethics, I just wanted to play a very small and interesting video for you. I could say that this shaped the life of A.R. Rahman forever. And this is a small video. So I'm very sure most of people here should be coffee lovers, being from South India. So a small ad of a coffee ad and how it changed AR's life forever. So this was an ad. So I was reading about this from AR's, it's kind of his biography, but it was more about a question answer book. The author of the book was a person called Nazarin who was asking a lot of questions to AR and AR gives some reply against the question asked. So this story is about a movie called Roja. So that was a very path-breaking music and the very first movie of A.R. Rahman. So before Roja, AR was into a lot of jingles. One of the famous jingle was something we heard right now. It's Leo Coffee's ad. So once this ad got released, it became a sensation. In fact, those time we had ringtones having this ad music. And it became an absolute sensation. And finally, one fine day, Maniratnam sir had some disagreement with another music director who was supposed to create an album for him in the movie called Roja. So because of that disagreement, he wanted to move with someone very new and fresh in the industry. And that's when he listened to this ad. And there was a butterfly effect here. So this ad was made by a person called Sharada and Trilok, a couple. And Sharada was the cousin sister, Sharada is a cousin sister of Maniratnam sir. So this butterfly effect happened. So after this, the ad became a sensational hit. So Sharada invited A.R. Rahman to her place and also Maniratnam sir was present since he was a cousin. And at that moment this ad was played and the music was so soothing. So that's when Mani sir approached Sharada and asked like, who made this music for you? And that's when they told that it was a very young chap called A.R. Rahman who did this. And that's how Roja happened. So that's about A.R. sir. So having read the life history of A.R. sir, I was able to understand that when you talk about music industry, so I heard a lot of music directors saying that I walked along with a CD and Walkman and players so that the directors can listen to my music. This is something I heard from a lot of very eminent personality from the industry. But I believe that A.R. Rahman has never done that. So always it was his music and his charm created another opportunity for A.R. sir. Something I learned out of this story is A.R. sir has not solicited, and that's why I believe he's in the top of the industry. Whereas people who are soliciting, probably they have not reached that great height as A.R. sir. So again, something I learned from this is solicitation is not that great. I think the same is being reflected by our institute in professional ethics. Similarly, again, this image is of a person called Suman Mangolkar. So that's, I think that's the name. He was a person from Tatas. So long back, there was a huge demand for trucks, very long back, and he was part of Tatas at that point of time, which was into manufacturing of trucks. When the demand of trucks was going up, people in Tatas, they insisted, why don't you increase the price of a truck, because the demand is going up, supply should equally match and the prices should go up. So that's when Suman mentioned that my products should not be priced high because of demand and supply situation. If our quality goes up, I want to increase my price, and it should not be because of demand and supply situation. So that's something what Suman told. And he achieved a lot of laurels for this move. And finally, a car of Tata's was named after him, which everyone should be knowing, Sumo. Suman Mangolkar. Okay, so that's how it happened. Generally what happens when we get into practice or profession is, in any other industry, they say we are the best in the industry, we are on top. A lot of superlatives will be used. I don't think we have to use superlatives. People should say you are the best. And that honor was given to Suman, and Sumo happened. So that's something I learned from the story of Suman, where we have to earn our name and we should not place our name. Of course, so this is something, when we talk about mobile phones, can we randomly talk about the phones that comes to your mind? Any brand that you can think of when you talk about mobile phones? Micromax, Samsung. Yes. Yes, sir? Motorola, yes, sir. Yeah. So Motorola should definitely, sir, because they were the person who came out with mobile phone in the year 1973. The first mobile phone providers. Yes, so Motorola. But many a times we miss out a name called Nokia. So if you travel like 20 years back, we could say that Nokia were the market leaders. I used to have a 1100 phone, which I used to throw from third floor, it doesn't break. These days, we throw a mobile phone from a small distance, it breaks. So that's the quality of Nokia, and definitely we'll always remember that snake game, which I always used to play during my school days. So never I can forget that. So that used to be mobile phones. So I was reading a book on a person called Raja Mannar. The name of the book is called Quantum Marketing. So there I was reading about this. So generally he says that once you don't advertise, once people don't see certain things, we forget. Definitely it holds good in, at least in Indian and India, or let's say in Tamil Nadu or Andhra politics, it holds good. We don't see people, we don't vote for them. So many times you can see a lot of politicians entering into film domain, we see them continuously, we vote for them. So that's what happens with marketing basically. So over a period of time, I was researching on this topic and I was reading this wonderful book. Let's say if I contemplate between two brands, having this in the background, once you don't see things, we forget. This being on the background, if I try contemplating two bike brands, one being Bajaj, the next one being Royal Enfield, right? Which one do you believe it advertises more over the other? Whether Bajaj advertises more, or is it going to be Royal Enfield more than Bajaj? Bajaj advertises more, right? But when we talk about bike rides, at least among youngsters, when you talk about bike rides, they always say it's a RE ride I enjoy, or a bullet ride is something I enjoy, right? So at this moment, with your permission, that's something I learned from the story of Royal Enfield. So better we should be a Royal Enfield rather than Bajaj. So that's something I understood from the story. And going by that, I would like to again take up a very small case study on what is advertising and how it became detrimental to a CA. So it says, again the case goes like this. The respondent was had published certain advertisements circulated in a newspaper. So where they said expert advice by chartered accountant service having an expert advice. So the advertisement included such details as audit and assurance service, tax planning service, expert in tax refunds, all that was given. And the respondent's defense was, the respondent stated that the advertisement was placed by a third party and he did not authorize it. So that's something he contended. He further claimed that he was not aware of ICAI's restriction on such advertisement and not intended to solicit or portray himself as a superior. So finally, of course, the conclusion happens in the same way. Again, he was reprimanded, and so there was a non-compliance, due to which there was a suspension of membership. So this is again a case of where people advertised and they had their membership suspended. So again, I believe that instead of soliciting or advertising, we can better brand is something I thought of, which is a wider concept. So going to the next one. These are my three favorite personalities, I could say. One is Nikhil Kamath. Just by reading his book, I like this book, so therefore I placed his image. And of course, Robert Kiyosaki, and we have Alexander Graham Bell. on the other end. Very small stories about them. So when I was reading about Nikhil Kamath, I was reading something significant in fact. So these days from cash mode we have switched to UPI modes, and recently I have been to France. Even there we can use UPI, so that's how it has penetrated into various markets. So there was a contemplation between GPay versus what is e-rupee, which is going to be the next future. So where he contemplated that GPay, we have two banks and two people, so literally four people involved in the transaction. Whereas when you talk about e-rupee can be a specific e-rupee also. You can use it for a very specified purpose. Government can restrict it. Similarly, it has wallets where you don't have internet, you can transact between people. So that is again something called as e-rupee. I think very soon we are going to experience what is called as a e-rupee era. So that's about what Nikhil Kamath said. And of course, Robert Kiyosaki, he brought in a very interesting concept. I'm very sure most of us would have read a book called Rich Dad Poor Dad. So very, very interesting book. And he brought in a concept, he highlighted a concept called savers losers. So where we always say that in our economy, we always insist on saving. You save money, it will be better for your future. But he has a very different philosophy to it. He says, when you save, you promote inflation. So when you save, bank will be holding your money, they will be lending it. Once they lend, people start spending. Once there is a spend, there is a demand creation. Once there's a demand creation, price goes up and inflation. So that's a concept which Robert Kiyosaki says. It's about savers losers. And again about a person called Alexander Graham Bell, a very, very interesting person who had almost like 32 and odd patents during his lifetime. And of course, one of the brilliant invention which he came out with is telephone, which we are using these days. We cannot live without it. So the story of telephone is a very, very beautiful story. So where it so happened that we can always say love and communication goes hand in hand, right? So if there is no communication in love, it'll end up in a breakup. So that's what happens. So incidentally, it so happened that the day on which telephone got patented was Feb 14th. Definitely you'll know what day it is. Valentine's Day. So definitely love and communication goes hand in hand. So that's what happened on Feb 14th, where telephone got patented. So on this very day, there were two people. So one was a person called Eliza Gray, and another person was Alexander Graham Bell. Both applied for the patent of telephone on the very same day. So at that point of time, patent authority were confused as to who to award patent to. And finally they said, since Bell's work is completely done and Eliza Gray has applied for what is called as caveat patent, which is work in progress, I finally awarded the patent to Alexander Graham Bell. Imagine Alexander Graham Bell traveled to the patent office one day later. Imagine it was 15th of Feb he traveled. The entire world history would have changed, saying that Eliza Gray was a person who invented telephone and not Alexander Graham Bell. That proves the power of what is documentation. 1 day's delay, it can cost a person's life. So that's something I learned from the story. So for a CA, something which is very important is, number one, we document a lot of whatever work we do, we have working papers to it. Number two, the reason why I told Nikhil Kamath and Robert Kiyosaki is, Robert Kiyosaki also introduced a term called Tinkerbell effect. For example, we have a note, bank note, and if you ask a question from where we get the value of a note, we have a 500 rupee with us. How we define the value of 500? It's nothing but the RBI governor's sign. So when he signs it, he says that I promise to pay the bearer so and so sum. So that promise translates into the value of the note. So this is something what Robert Kiyosaki calls it to be Tinkerbell effect. What you believe something to be of a value. Right? So from a RBI perspective, we say that once RBI governor doesn't sign, the note is called as a paper. That's it. Right? So similarly, we'll shift the view to a chartered accountant perspective. So imagine as chartered accountants, we are on a due date of filing return, let's say the tax audit season. So at that point of time, the client as usual is coming on a last day where we had to upload the return. So the client says, okay, why don't you upload the return? And we do our best to upload the return, and finally we are uploading, let's say, without a UDIN in income tax portal. I think the portal will definitely permit because it says update UDIN later. That is one. And let's say the CA is using SD and uploading it, signed, and we upload it, right? So the next day he wants to go for a OD renewal imagine from the income tax website, he approaches the attachment section, he downloads the P&L balance sheet where you don't have a possible UDIN and there is just SD on it, I believe that bank won't be giving loans against such document because bank believes that it's an A4 paper because there is no UDIN and no sign of a chartered accountant. Imagine if there is a sign of a CA and there is a UDIN attached to it, the bank will be calling it audited financial statement. So compared to a A4 paper, audited financial statement has a great value and it enables a person to get a loan from the bank. Once a person is getting loan from the bank, he starts spending. Once he spends, automatically the demand goes up and finally it leads to inflation. So the moral of the story is one CA sign can cause inflation in an economy. As simple as saying that the power which is resting with RBI governor is something we are carrying. So definitely on this day we should be very proud of being a CA and creating a balanced economy. So that's something about the story of the Thinker-Bell effect. So that's why Institute always says that whenever you're signing a financial statement, we have to go through the particulars of financial statement and we sign it. For two reasons. Number one, we have a Thinker-Bell effect. When we sign, it has a great value in the economy. So our one sign can cause inflation. So therefore they say that we have to sign, we have to see the particulars and sign it, and only CA can sign a financial statement. So here is a classic case where the respondent, being a chartered accountant, issued an audit report along with financial statements of a company. Upon review, it was discovered that the CA has not verified the essential components of accounting, including bank reconciliation statement, stock registers, ledgers and vouchers. There was no audit working papers to demonstrate that any examination had been done. The financial statements were signed on the same day the draft accounts were received from the management. Additionally, several material misstatements were later discovered in the financial statements which CA had failed to notice. And finally, of course, the defense was CA stated that company was an old client and that they trusted the accounts of the company. And finally, the institute said that CA has not discharged his duty as auditor. Signing without proper verification amounted to gross negligence, and of course, the membership was suspended. So again, the story is in lines with whatever I learned from the book of Robert Kiyosaki, where we carry a great Thinker-Bell effect, and we should excise our signature in adequate manner. So this is a small learning from the story. And finally, yes, so we do have something called as recommended price. So when we price a client, there is something called as recommended price. So I was going through something called as Insights of Marketing, a very beautiful book. So next time when we go to mall, we can think of it. Generally, when we enter a mall, what happens is that you see high priced item on the ground floor, whereas if you travel to the first floor, the price won't be that great. And finally, you reach the second floor, the prices drops further. And finally, you have a food court. There is a perfect logic of why this alignment happens in a mall. So this is something called as anchoring effect, what people practice. Or rather, when you go to stores like, let's say, Reliance or Girias, you can find the high price TV outside, and as you go inside, the prices will diminish. There is a logic behind it, and that's what they call it, anchoring effect. So imagine a person is entering a showroom of Girias, he sees a TV for 3 lakhs, his mind is mentally set for 3 lakhs as a figure. I'm going to spend 3 lakhs. And as and when he travels inside further and further, what happens is the prices diminishes. He says, I'm not going to pay 3 lakhs, it's only probably like 1.5 lakh or 50,000 I have to spend. I'm not paying that great price. So that's something called as anchoring effect. So similarly, when we price low in our situation as in a practice, so what happens is the anchoring effect may fail. So people may come into a bargaining level. So rather, if you have adequate priced as per institute recommended norm, it's not mandatory, it's recommended though. So I think we can create an equilibrium in the market. So that's something about what is called as an anchoring effect. And similarly, when we find a lot of options in an economy, let's say the prices can be bargained and we can start bargaining on the prices. So automatically there is another law which is called as Hooke's law which operates. So imagine there are two stores here. So one is H&M which you can find here, and of course the Legends store on the top. So let's say when we go to a Legends store, definitely we have a lot of choices to make, enormous amount of dresses and collections, whereas you go to H&M or Spencer's, Marks and Spencer's, we have less dress, right? But possibility of purchasing in Marks and Spencer's is higher than what we do in Legends or Ona stores. The reason for that is they always say that in Marketing Insight I was able to see this. So when you're flooded with lot of choices, people don't choose at all. So that is something called as Hooke's law. So when we say we are providing a lot of service, you can apply, I'm providing hell a lot of service and different price comparisons, people may end up not choosing. So that's something we can always think of. So you can always go by the institute recommended price, which creates a lot of equilibrium in the market. And finally, since we'll be running short of time, I want to close my discussion based on just two topics. It's about, one topic was about a person called Stanley Milgram. I was reading his story from a book called Shaolin. It's about a martial arts, it's a book based on martial arts, where they say that, Stanley believed in something called as 6-degree separation theory. So we saw a theory just before we started when we were talking about work-life balance. Similarly, there's a theory called the 6-degree separation theory. In fact, people who are using LinkedIn, you're using Instagram, this theory is a basis on which Insta and LinkedIn was formed. So what is the 6-degree separation theory? So they say that everything happens in 6 steps. So when Stanley started this observation by 1967, he couriered a package from West Coast to Boston, right? And he was, first he sent it to a person and he instructed that once you receive a package, the end person is a person called X. You have to send the parcel to X, but you have to follow a chain. A person, let's say Stanley sends a parcel to a person 1, the person 1 sends it to person 2, person 3, person 4, and finally it reaches X. So he was able to find out that in order to reach Mr. X, almost 6 channels had to be passed. So finally he came out with what is called as a 6-degree separation theory. So in case if you want to, for example, connect with Mukesh Ambani for that matter, if you try tapping your contacts and if the theory works good, you have to just spot 6th person and 7th person will be Mukesh Ambani. So that's the theory what Stanley came out with, and it worked excellently well when LinkedIn platform was established, and also when Instagram, basis of this, they formed this platform called Insta and LinkedIn. So coming to that, when we talk about networking, Institute has given great set of guidelines on what is called as networking. Instead of referrals and we connect people, we can network. So Institute has given 3 kind of networks, networking in terms of networking guidelines. One is called as the normal network where we join hands and we work together. Second thing is something called as a lead firm. So when you talk about Rajamouli, he does a lead. For example, Kiran is a relative of Rajamouli. He is working in his film, and Rajamouli's wife is working in the film. But we know Rajamouli as one person, right? So that's called as a lead firm. So where there is a X firm, which is the lead, it takes the brand name is of X. All other firms will be joining this lead firm, and together they portray themselves to be a very big firm, and they approach a client. It's high chances we get a deal. So that is a very, very valid mechanism in networking guidelines. So which is called as a lead firm. And second category is network of firms. What is that is, let's say if I want to convince a client for an audit, we are having an audit discussion. So let's say I'm specialized in international tax. Another person is very specialized in M&A. So what we can do is we can create a network of firm, and we can have a written agreement saying that any kind of transfer pricing or any kind of international arrangements I will be taking care, any kind of M&As you will take care. So if you have a prescribed set of agreement like this, so we can register ourselves to be a network firm as per the ICAI guidelines. And finally, there is something called as alliance. So this is something crazy I read in a book which is called as What If. The crazy question was, what if everyone in this world jumps at the same time? Will there be an earthquake? That was a question. A very crazy question though. So if we jump at the same point of time, will there be an earthquake? The answer was no, because that the speed of it will get spread off, and it won't cause an earthquake. That was the answer. Similarly, when you talk about alliance, when multiple CAs and multiple professionals we can join together, and we say we are part of a big alliance and we approach an auditee, high chances we can convert it into a audit opportunity. This is something again told by Institute, very well valid. It's called as alliance. We can register as alliance, and we can also approach client. So this again was part of what is called as networking guidelines. And finally, to run through the entire picture and conclude, so initially we started with a referral fee, whether it's good or bad. So generally Institute says no to referral fee to a non-member, it's definitely not allowed. So then we were talking about communication to the previous auditor, which is mandatory, should be written either in mail or with an acknowledgement due. So then, as part of ethics, we were talking about food as a very important aspect. We said we should not over-consume food. Similarly, we should not over-consume in terms of audit. Prescribed number of audits should be adhered to. So then we were talking about situation of what is solicitation. So as CAs, we should not solicit. And then we were talking about using of superlatives like the best, the most important, and all that should be avoided when you come to a ethical front. And of course, the next one was about how important it is to brand and not to advertise. So that's something we went through. And the next one was about the importance of a CA signature in an economy. So we should not we should sign with great precaution, and going through the particulars of financial statement we have to sign. And of course, the institute recommended price norms. Though it's recommended, it's better to follow. And we were talking about how networking can happen. We were talking about Stanley milligrams of 6 degrees of separation. And we were talking about what is a lead firm, what is an alliance firm, what is a network firm. And finally, to conclude, I just wanted to conclude in these two matters in this way. So I love watching a lot of animes. I'm an anime lover and cartoon lover, even today. Coming to this, I just wanted to share a very small story before I conclude. It's about the Popeye show. I'm very sure most of us would have watched this in our early days. So, this show aired for a reason. In fact, Popeye cartoon was aired for a very specific reason. It goes back to the year 1929, where US was facing a Great Depression. And at that point of time, the cost of food was going up. And only edible item which was very dead cheap was spinach. And unfortunately, kids at home, they don't consume spinach. They find it very yucky to consume. So that's when the US government felt we have to insist on consuming spinach because it gives a lot of health benefits to the kids. So they came out with a cartoon called Popeye Show, where Popeye consumes spinach and he gathers a lot of strength and he can beat any kind of bully. So having seen this and influenced by this, most of the children in US, they started consuming spinach, and the nutrition levels were settled in US. So this is something about the story of spinach. So similarly, like we have a lot of, institute is giving a lot of benefits, CMB benefits, right from ethics. We could see a lot of knowledge being passed on. I think we have to follow the same, and it is beneficial that way. And finally, finally, I want to conclude with the story of what is mentioned in a book called Shaolin. There was a master who was teaching Shaolin, and there were two students. One was a monk, and another student, he wanted to know how to get enlightened. So he's approaching the Shaolin master to understand how enlightenment can happen. So now the master is asking, why do you need enlightenment? The student says, I'm not able to concentrate on a lot of stuffs, so I want to concentrate and get into the path of enlightenment. So now the master of Shaolin says, okay, what do you like the most in your life? He said, I love chess. So then he said, okay, we'll play a game of chess, but your opponent will be a monk, fellow monk will be an opponent, and you have to play a game of chess. And later on, he placed a sword in front of the opponents. Both the opponents, there was a sword placed in between, and he said, anyone who loses, I'm going to behead you. In case someone loses, I'm going to behead you. So having said this, the student who came to get enlightenment, he was very scared that his head will get beheaded. He started concentrating in the game of chess in a very, very fantastic manner, and he started playing it. And towards the end of the game, he felt bad that his opponent is going to get killed. So he started making desperate wrong moves, so that there is some kind of stalemate where both ends up not winning or not losing. So he started moving towards what is called a stalemate. And that's when the Shaolin monk, he disturbed the entire chessboard. He threw it and he said, I'm not going to behead you people. It's fine. So that's what he told. And that's when he gave a very important lesson of life. He said, in order to get enlightenment, we should have a great concentration level. At the same time, we should be very compassionate. I believe our institute is doing the same, and they are helping us to attain that enlightenment. As chartered accountants, we concentrate a lot during work. At the same time, when we receive an audit appointment from a fellow chartered accountant, we communicate and show that compassion. I think that's a great way to achieve enlightenment. I'm very happy that I'm in a fraternity which shows both concentration and compassion in the same way. Hope I'll get enlightened very soon in the near future to come. So on that note, I thank everyone for patiently listening, and it is an honor to be present here and accumulate knowledge from you. Thank you all. Thanks.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for this wonderful session. It was very good and insightful.